So I want to get into this dream I had. That's on Friday morning, and it's kind of two dreams, but it was in the same night. And so in the first part of my dream, I see former President Barack Obama, and he's being interviewed kind of like a civilian. He's not in a suit and tie, just kind of regular civilian clothes. His face was a little contorted. To simplify it, he looked evil. And that's not what I'm trying to fixate on right here, but what he said in the dream, they were asking him, and he was telling them that he personally owned cryptocurrency, and that those who avoided it and did not own it in the future were going to be upset with their future economic circumstances. And then in the dream, it highlighted where I could see on his finger area, somewhere around here, near his pointer finger and his thumb, I could see a branding, like a scar, but it was a branding, and it was a Skull and Bones style branding. That was the end of the dream.
Hello again, guys. So how's it going? Now, first, before we get into this discussion, I gotta let you all know that I'm not a financial advisor. So nothing that I'm about to say or discuss here in this video should by any means be taken as any type of financial advice. This is just me sharing my opinion here. Now, let's just go ahead and jump into this brother's dream that he had about the beast. So, in this dream, he said he heard Obama said that he currently owns cryptocurrency, and everyone who did not beforehand went ahead and purchased or invested or to make sure that they owned cryptocurrency would completely regret it. You see, he said that they would be upset because they did not beforehand procure cryptocurrency for themselves. And upon hearing this brother's dream, I thought to myself, if the beast himself can understand the purpose of cryptocurrency, you see, and where it's headed, if he can understand this and take the steps to secure his future by purchasing and owning cryptocurrencies, how much more should the church, the body of Christ, should have known this as well? And unfortunately, the majority of the body of Christ and majority of the world are not yet into cryptocurrency. They don't see, neither do they understand this, but the beast does. And of course, he's going to understand this because he's the beast. You see, he has, I'm pretty sure, access to a great amount of resources which would, grant him this understanding. But I'm pretty sure that it was Yah himself that had given this brother this revelation that, the beast himself owns cryptocurrencies, and he knows the role that it's going to be playing in the future. Because then again, the mark that is going to come is going to be his mark. Perhaps his mark is going to rise up amidst one of these cryptocurrencies. Who knows? I don't know. Or it's going to be some future cryptocurrency. Maybe it's going to be run on the blockchain. We don't know as yet. But what we know is that the mark is going to be his mark. And I'm pretty certain of this because I know who the beast is, guys. Hence why I've been telling you guys this for many years now. Not only myself, but several others. I've been telling you that Barack Obama is and will be the future beast. You see, that will be fully possessed by Lucifer himself. He's the chosen one by Lucifer. So yes, this video is not about that. I just wanted to highlight that he understands, even as he said it himself, that many people are going to be regretting not investing in cryptocurrency. And with this statement, I have to say that I'm in total agreement with the beast. You see, whenever it comes to money, historically, we all know that time equals money. You see, why time equals money? Because people are willing and have been willing to exchange their time for money. And fast forward to today, we now have a new money. The one that used to dominate the exchange between time and money was fiat currencies. That's the different global currencies that are around the world. However, we're seeing a shift, and it's about to accelerate, where the value of these fiat currencies will diminish against the newly emerging currencies, which are cryptocurrencies, guys. Yes, cryptocurrencies are about to appreciate against not only the United States dollar, but all of these other fiat currencies around the world. So what you want to do, remember I told you guys, I'm not a financial advisor. This is basically just a discussion based off of my opinion and my understanding. what I'm going to go ahead and say what I would do and what I am doing then rather. I'm going to say it that way. What I'm doing is, as a matter of fact, in the past, I used to exchange my time for cryptocurrencies, which means that I used to work and get paid in cryptocurrencies. I used to do that, guys. I remember a couple of years ago, I used to do that. Even though it wasn't a lot, I wasn't getting a lot of cryptocurrencies for payment. Regardless, I used to do that. So what I am doing is I'm still exchanging my time for cryptocurrencies. And so today when I work and I get paid in the US dollar, whenever I take out the money for my bills and food, etc., the rest that I use to invest, I exchange it into cryptocurrencies. Yes, what I do is I purchase select cryptos and I send them over to my cold storage. This is what you want to do. You want to save your money into cryptocurrencies. You don't want to hold the US dollar because the US dollar is getting ready to lose a significant amount of its value. And especially now that we see that the KOB has just recently started this war over there in Iran. And it got me to thinking, it's either this was strategically and deliberately done, or they're very slow in their judgment and in reasoning. And I'm leaning more towards the latter, the former. You see, I believe that this was strategically done. It was purposely done to accomplish this very thing. Because it's pretty obvious, guys. We know that if you go over there and start attacking the Iranians, they're going to close down the Strait of Hormuz. They've been talking about the impacts of what something like that would do to the global economy. It's on YouTube, guys. It's been on YouTube for many, many years. And we see that the exact same scenario that people have spoken about in different documentaries, it's the exact same thing that's playing out. The war has adversely affected the Japanese economy. And as a result, very, very, very soon, sooner rather than later, they're going to be forced to dump the US treasuries in order to protect their own economy and the Japanese yen. And you're telling me that the KOB and the team behind him did not factor this into their plan? No, there's no way, guys. I honestly do believe that he knew about it. He knew that this would occur. And I honestly do believe that it's a part of their plans because he's a puppet. You see, his handlers told him to make these exact moves, these strategic moves, in order to further destabilize the global economy on purpose, because they want to bring in the phoenix, which is the new money which will rise up out of the ashes. They want to, in order for the new system to come online, they have to first demolish the existing one. And this is exactly what we're witnessing, because I'm telling you that it is going to happen. If this war continues to escalate and the price of oil continues to rise, it's going to force these Japanese people to dump their US treasuries, which is, it has like a valuation of around 1.2 trillion, I think. If they're forced to dump all of this US treasuries, you can be sure that it's going to have adverse effects all across the board, guys. You see, it's going to affect mortgage loans, car notes, everything, guys. You see, it's going to cause yields to rise all across the board and also cause the US dollar to tumble significantly. Guys, I've been just recently watching the Dixie on the charts, and I see that it's hovering around $1 something, and it's currently at a neckline. And if it refuses to break out above this neckline, I promise you, it's going to revisit that 97 that it recently went, and it's going to take it out and head towards the 80s at warp speed in these current economic conditions. You see, with these geopolitical events that are taking place, you see. So it's going to affect the US dollar negatively. And that is one of the very reasons why you don't want to be holding any fiat currencies. You don't want to be holding the US dollar or any fiat currencies, except for those prophesied currencies, fiat currencies that are prophesied to be revalued. Like the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnamese dong. Except for prophesied fiat currencies like those. You don't want to be holding any other fiat currencies. You see, you want to be holding and storing, saving up select cryptocurrencies currently. Now, as regards to holding and storing cryptocurrencies, now say you're well off like the beast, and I imagine that that's the route that he took as well. You can afford to purchase coins like Shiba Inu and even Electronium and store them up, send them off to your cold storage. You see, your Tangem cold storage or your Ledger, whichever cold storage device that you have, you can afford Electronium at these current prices, or even Shiba Inu. You see, regardless of the fact that some of us knows that it's going to crash further before it takes off, regardless of that, you're currently able to purchase them at the current price. You see, because your financial status allows you to do that. So you can currently pour thousands of dollars into these cryptos. You see, so I imagine even the beast himself, I imagine that he currently owns XRP, even at its current price, regardless of the fact that it may crash a little bit lower. He doesn't care about that. The folks that can afford the crash before it rebounds, these people are well off. But as for me and you and many of you guys out there, we can't really afford these deep dips. We have to wait for better prices. But for many of you guys out there, this is the way. This is what I'm telling you. Right now, currently, it is not wise to be holding or exchanging your time for any fiat currencies except for those prophesied fiat currencies. It is not wise to be holding them. You want to exchange your time for cryptocurrencies. And when you get them, the lot of them, the majority of them, you want to send them over to your cold storage. You see, send it over to your cold storage. In this way, you are the owner. You own your keys. You're the owner. You want to have less of your cryptocurrencies on the exchanges. As I've told you guys before, the cryptocurrency exchanges aren't 100% safe. None of them are. Some of them are just a little bit safer than others. And I don't trust them. No more than I don't trust the banks. I don't trust the banks either. So you don't want to be storing your money in the banks. Only keep as much money that you need to, pay for your bills in the banks. But a lot of your money going forward, you want to keep it on your cold storage device, guys. Yeah. So on the exchange, you want to have, you only want to have the amount of cryptocurrencies that you're setting up in sell orders. Okay. And the rest of it, you want to have it on your cold storage device. With some cryptocurrencies, it has been prophesied that they may spike very quickly and you won't get the chance to purchase it manually because of several reasons. The exchange may go down, we may have a blackout, whatever the case may be with some of them. But others, you can definitely hold them on your cold storage and it won't be a problem because they will appreciate over time. But with some of them, like Shiba Inu, we've heard it's going to be a case like that where you have to have it sitting on the exchange in sell orders. But it's not necessarily like that for every coin. You see, some of them, you just purchase them, leave them, and they'll appreciate over time. Each and every single one of you guys who have already purchased and are holding cryptocurrencies on your storage device, you are well ahead of the majority that are out there. Because very, very soon, listen to me, every single one, everyone out there, guys, they're going to have to get on board. You see, but they're going to be at the back of the line because they're going to be getting in once the market is already appreciated. The prices for these cryptos are going to be very, very high when they're getting in. And that's basically how the wealth transfer is going to occur. You see, they're going to force the cryptos that you already have, they're going to force the prices up even further than they're already going to be. And that is going to put you guys at a very great advantage. Now, I remember once that Yah had given me this revelation where I believe it was as a sign before the crash, I believe, of either the economic system or exchanges or banks or all of the above. It was a sign before some type of crash. Before it occurred, they had installed a self-service function. So I'm not entirely sure as to the full interpretation of that. It could mean you'll be able to purchase or exchange cryptos from your cold storage devices without a third party, which is, my goodness, that would be a dream come true. Because we want a world where we can be able to do that. Be able to exchange or purchase or cryptos without any third parties, without any exchanges, and most definitely without any banks. You see, and that is definitely, it's almost here. It is here and it's still emerging, where we'll be able to purchase goods and services right from our apps. You see, we'll be able to send cryptos from our cold storage into another app with which we'll be able to use to make everyday purchases. You see, that is the end game, and that is what we want. We want to try as much as possible to bypass the third parties, you see, and be our own custodian. And of course, there's several reasons why I say this. In the past, I've had several cryptocurrencies sitting on more than one exchanges at different times already, and only to find out that I suddenly just lose access to the exchange because of several different reasons. Sometimes it was the case where the FBI just comes in and just completely shuts down the exchanges, and then you lose all of your cryptocurrencies. And then other times it's for other reasons. Maybe the crypto exchanges aren't compliant with the SEC's rules or whatever the case may be. But I've lost thousands of dollars, guys, as a result of that. You see, and that should have been avoided, you see. So that's one of the reasons why we want to stay clear of the exchanges if we can. We only use them to set up our low or sell limit buy orders. But aside from that, I wouldn't recommend anyone holding or keeping their cryptos on there. And that for that very reason as well, in regards to that Zipto app that I had featured a couple of videos back, I've stated that I actually like that app. I do like the interface. It's very clean. Honestly, I really do like it. But the one thing I don't like is that it's a hot wallet. I don't like that at all. So hopefully in the future, hopefully Electroneum and Redcoin will be able to be adopted in these cold wallets, like for Tangem and Ledger. I don't know if Ledger has it, but hopefully in the future, these two coins, which are excellent investments, will also be able to, be stored on these cold storages, because we don't want to be holding a large majority of cryptocurrencies on these hot wallets, you see, because they're not entirely safe at all. So that is something that we all want to strive towards accomplishing, to make sure that the majority, over 80% of our entire holdings we're holding it on our cold storage devices and wallets. In this way, we have, greatly increased the security of our finances. And so going forward, this is what I'm doing constantly, guys. You see, I'm loading up currently, loading up. Every time that I get a chance to purchase in on some of these prophetic cryptocurrencies, because as I've been telling you guys, it's not time to purchase some of them yet. You see, people are in different financial categories. And as for myself, I won't be purchasing Shiba Inu at its current prices. I will most definitely be owning it in the future though. You see, better prices are definitely coming. 6 and 7 zeros are excellent prices to buy into Shiba Inu, because we know that it's going to $1. I'm wondering where the Dixie, the US dollar, will be when Shiba Inu is at $1. How much percentage would it have lost? Would it have lost 30%? Or perhaps even 50% when coins like Shiba Inu and Electroneum or even Pepe is at $1? That's what I'm wondering, because I know that it's coming, and I know that these coins are going to appreciate against the US dollar, you see. But there you have it, guys. This is my 2 cents. I wanted to discuss and to let you guys know that it is wisdom to save in cryptocurrencies. You see, people used to exchange their time for money, for the fiat currency, which is now losing value and will completely lose value as the years goes by. We want to be exchanging our time now for cryptos in this window that we currently have. It's basically a window, and this window is not going to last forever, guys, where several of these cryptocurrencies are low, regardless of the fact that they're going to crash lower. We know that in the future, they're going to go to ridiculously high numbers, guys. You see, and we want to get in from now. The time is now for some of them, like I've been telling you guys. But if you can afford to, yes, go ahead, like the beast. Go ahead and purchase in and send them over to your wallets. This is how you secure your future. You see, there's no retirement plan like this. This is the #1 appreciating asset in all sectors of finance. You see, right across the board, you can't find a better appreciating asset than cryptocurrencies and what some of these meme coins are going to do. So go ahead and position yourselves and use this information to your advantage. Now, that's all I'm going to say. You guys, please take care of yourselves. Peace, shalom. Until next time.